Module 12, Selling Online Internationally. If you're selling online internationally for the first time, you need to consider which products are likely to appeal most to your international customers. So you could do this from looking at what international customers have previously bought from you and consider putting these products on your website. You should also bear in mind what you can potentially sell online internationally. So, for example, very heavy products might not be best suited because the postage and packaging costs may be particularly high. You really do need to check the costs of postage and packaging to all the main destinations that you're likely to end up sending products to. It's important you work out your pricing and whether you can make a profit from selling online internationally. You should also redevelop your website to attract international customers. An important element is offering payment in different currencies, because customers from different countries are often used to paying in euros or dollars and find it a lot easier to buy from you in their own currencies. Also consider potentially translating your website. If you do this, and it's accompanied with appropriate search engine optimization, search engine marketing, and social media, this can ensure that you succeed in your online international sales. You should also consider having a set of international terms and conditions for selling online internationally on your website. Two of the most important terms and conditions are shown here. The first relates to customs charges. You need to be aware that if you're sending products outside the UK, in many countries, you're going to have to pay duties and taxes, or the customer is going to have to pay duties and taxes. So it's important that you don't open up a liability for yourself in terms of having to pay the taxes once they reach the country of destination. So here is an example set of terms and conditions covering customs charges. It says, if you're ordering goods for delivery outside of the EU, please note your consignment may be subject to import duties and taxes. Any such charges levied in relation to customs clearance must be borne by you. You accept that the company has no control over additional charges in relation to customs clearance. We recommend you check with your local customs officials or post office for more information. So this is effectively transferring the risk regarding taxes and duties to your customer. The downside, of course, of doing it in this way is that the customer may be less likely to buy from you. The other thing that is important to notice is, of course, that the UK has left the EU, and the end of the transition period is expected at the end of 2020. So this is actually going to apply for all goods for delivery outside of the UK. So that includes all goods being sent to the EU from the 1st of January 2021. The second set of terms and conditions, which is important to notice, is the governing law. And this states that the contract, it will be governed in accordance with Scots law. And this is important because if there is any dispute between you and your buyer, then the Scots courts will resolve any disputes and not the country which you are sending the goods to. So that is an important condition to include in your international set of terms and conditions on your website. Of course, you may not just find that it's possible to sell your products online on your website. You could potentially use other platforms and marketplaces to sell your products. So there are specific country and specific industry platforms and marketplaces. Probably the best well-known of these is Amazon. Here it is an example of one Scottish company, the We Book Company, which is selling on Amazon.com. That is the US version of Amazon. So take a moment before we move on to note what you need to do in order to sell your products or services online internationally, and the changes you need to make and the things you need to consider to do this effectively.